Hey everybody, I just wanted to come to you today. Just me. I'm here obviously in my room because I am quarantined like everybody else. Forgive the craziness I have all around here. But I just wanted to talk a little bit on mental health. You guys have know I've talked about this before, but I think it's very important right now as a lot of people are struggling to be home. Whether you're working from home, you're out of a job right now, or even if you're still working and maybe you're going to a place where you just don't feel very safe out there. A lot of people are still having to be out in it, and with the uncertainty of knowing, hey, am I going to be sick? Am I going to bring this sickness home to my family? It's just a lot of unordinary situations going on right now, and I know that can be a big struggle and a big mental strain on a lot of people right now. My main focus is usually men, but I think right now it's just everybody. Um, and if you haven't guessed it, uh, food for thought is back. I'm here. I'm back again. Um, yeah. So I kind of lost sight of everything there for a little bit. Even before all this happened, I just got in a weird place. I did struggle with mental health on my own. It's kind of the reason I started this, and I kind of let it go. And then all this happened, and then it even spun me into a darker place as I deal with mental health myself. In a world where times and days don't exist, like you just kind of lose who you are, who you identify with. Especially me coming from such a place where like I was like schedule heavy, like everything was scheduled from like the time I get up to my appointments, doctor appointments, even little things. I had everything scheduled. That way, the consistency kind of kept me in a good place mentally. And then you throw this in the mix where there's just you go from like a heavy schedule to no schedule at all, and you have nothing to do but just deal with your life at home. Um, it can be a lot on somebody. So it really took me into a weird place, and you know um, kept me away from the thing that I was passionate about. And I think that's what kind of hit me the most is having to shut my business down. That really making that decision was probably one of the hardest things for me. Like the shop is my peace. It's my comfort, my home. I feel more at home in my shop than anywhere else. I can be myself. I created that whole thing for me, so that I can be myself. I can feel at home, no judgment. Like that is my that's where I protect my peace. And to have to shut those doors and walk away from that was the hardest thing of the unknown. Like, am I still going to feel that here at home? Um, so that was like the hardest thing for me. There's been some good days, and there's been some really bad ones. A few days ago, I just kind of hit my breaking point. I was laying in bed, and I wrote. Um, I wrote. At some point, I'm just not gonna get out of bed anymore. There's no point. What's there to do? I don't know who I am. I hate myself. And I mean, I've said, oh, I hate myself or I hate my life. People say that all the time. It becomes a catchphrase, kind of. But honestly, I said it and I really meant it to my core. Like, I hate myself. I hated the state I was in. I hated the way I looked. I hated that I had to be here. I hated that I couldn't make money. I couldn't provide for my family. I hated every aspect of my life and who I was in that moment. And I just sat there and reflected on what I just said. And it, like, I don't know, man, it hit me like pretty hard. Um, and so after that, I got up. I like forced myself to get up. I got in the shower, and I got dressed, and with this kind of like determination to like, I need to figure out who I am, because I can't live like that. Like, you can't hate yourself, because if you hate yourself, then you hate everything around you, and that's not good, especially when you have a family. Like, I have to love myself so I can love everything else. And so I got up, determined to figure out who I was. So I started watching movies that I liked from my past, just kind of trying to figure out, like, if I can figure out who I was, then maybe I can figure out who I am again, or who I can be in this. So I started watching. Sorry, I'm touching my face. I'm not supposed to do that right now. um, but I'll wash my hands after. But yeah, so I started watching like dance videos, dance movies, because when I was younger, that's something that I was passionate about, and just needed to feel some kind of passion again. I think is what I was mainly looking for, and in watching that stuff, it kind of reignited that what I was looking for. That, like, watching those videos, remembering who I was, the dance videos I used to make, um, it kind of re-sparked that passion that I had for that. And I just wanted to feel that again, because cutting hair is my passion. Like, it is. Like, I love to do it, makes me whom I am. And um, not having to do that, it completely dulled my fire down, and I just needed to feel something. So in doing that, I kind of felt the passion that I had for the dancing, and that kind of made me just realize, like, the passion's always there, no matter what it is, because it's changed for me throughout the years. But my vision for what I want in my life has not. So I just realized I need to focus on that, because my passion is always going to be there. It's just going to be different. But the vision is always going to be something that I need to work for, whether it's, you know, dancing then or haircutting. Lately, my passion has kind of shifted a little bit, and I kind of lost sight of that. But it's been men's mental health since November. I've just really been on this. Uh, it was November that kind of sparked that, and then I just kind of never got out of that mind frame. Like, just we deal with a lot on a daily basis, and right now we're all dealing with a lot on a daily basis. And so um, it's like, what better time to bring this back than now, where it's like, all I have is time on my hands. Like, this is the time that I really need to focus on this and get my messages out, so that people can know that we're all in this together. We're not alone. You're not alone. Even if you're alone in a house, you don't have no family or nothing, you're alone, just you by yourself. Um, you have a phone. I know you have a phone. I know you have FaceTime. I know you got social media. There's people out there. Talk. Get on there, and don't just type something. Physically call somebody or FaceTime somebody and be like, "Hey man, I'm not doing too good. Can we just talk?" Like, even a 5-minute talk could change a person's day. It could change their world. So if you're not, I know you feel like maybe, because me, I don't like to call people. I don't like to bother people. I always feel like I'm bothering somebody. Like, I don't want to inconvenience somebody else. So, but I mean, sometimes you have to do it. Even if you text first and be like, "Hey, are you busy? If not, can you give me a call? Can we FaceTime?" Something. Just, you have to help yourself. Um, Even if you do have family, that's good to do. It's just because you're with these people every day now. Like, you're with them 24/7 now, and it's good to just have some kind of outside interaction. The other day, I was doing this puzzle thing, and me and this guy were messaging back and forth, and he accidentally FaceTimed me, and we like talked for a split second. But honestly, it was kind of like the coolest thing that's happened since this whole thing, because I actually had some kind of like other interaction with somebody that I haven't physically talked to. So that was kind of cool. He knows who he is, and thanks for that, by the way. It was a happy accident. um, so yeah, so So the day after all that, I started listening to Trent Shelton's podcast, and he said something that um, really is true. He said, "This virus has the power to touch us mentally before it ever touches us physically." And honestly, that there is so much truth to that right now, because it's real. Like a lot a lot of people are just dealing with this. And I seen the other day somebody had posted about this guy that had committed suicide because he was already dealing with mental health, and he was living on his own and being home every day. Like there was no outlet, he had no release, or he he thought he didn't, and so he just ended it like this. He figured, it's the mental health got to him before he could ever even get sick, because I think he was like diabetic. He was kind of prone to getting it, but there wasn't a guarantee he would have. But in his the thought of having it scared him and messed up his mental health to the point where he's just like, I'd rather not even, and he just ended it. And that's like, that's bad. It's we can't that's it's tragedy. It really is. Like, it's unfortunate that that had to happen, and nobody was there to reach out to him, or he didn't think that he could reach out to somebody in that time of need. And everybody's going through it, adults to even kids. They're unordinary. They You think that kids don't like school, and they don't. I didn't like school. But you get to that, kids need structure. And so after a while of being home and home, it messes with their mental minds too, because they see you in a different state, and then they can't be with their friends anymore. They're not getting those meals, at school. Sometimes some kids, they live in really bad environments, where those meals are all they're getting, and they are giving out meals at the schools still. So if you have young kids, you can find your local school and get meals for them. They'll do lunch and breakfast. But yeah, it's different. A lot of kids, they live in bad environments. I mean, I'm in apartments, not the greatest. They're low income, so I see it a lot. They're just out running amok, and the parents are just don't give a damn really about them. So it's bad. It's a bad environment for everyone. It's a bad situation for everyone right now. So we all deal with the mental issues, even the kids. Um, he gave 5 things um, that I'll share with you right now, and they're on release. And the first one is, remember, this is Trent Shelton. I'm just repeating and summarizing. And if you really want something to listen to, go listen to Trent Shelton's podcast called Straight Up. Honestly, I've been following this guy forever. He's always helped me, and that's one of the realest podcasts I've ever listened to. He'll give it to you straight and raw, like there's no sugarcoating. Like, he tells it how it is, and it really helps. He's got some really good messages on there that'll really help you get over, um, the dark places that you put yourself in. Um, but the first one is energy. Movement influences mood. When you don't move, depression has nowhere to go. Working out is more for mental health than physical health. Every day, have something to look forward to. You need an energy release. So it's good. I started doing the Planet Fitness on Facebook, little workouts. I posted one today on here as well. Those are actually pretty good. I mean, you can do them in your home. They're not that strenuous. They start you out. They tell you do what you can do. Don't overstrain yourself. But even if you're doing something like just something, small, some kind of workout, just it'll give you an energy release that you need. um, and yeah, there's the Planet Fitness ones. I know there's some on YouTube. My sister does, I think, her Zumba on YouTube. and some of her other gym classes. A lot of gyms have posted their stuff on YouTube or their Facebooks. So it's out there. Like, you can find some exercises to do, or just get out in your yards and like just kind of run around the yard, or find something to do, some kind of energy release. That's always good. Number two is creative. Have something to have creative release: dance, music, drawing. Make something, create something beautiful in this time of darkness. That's always a good outlet, just being some kind of creative mindset. I know we're not all creative. Honestly, I'm not the most creative, even though I cut hair, and there's different levels of creativity. I'm not very crafty. Like, I'm not good at making things. I used to be good at drawing. I feel like I kind of lost that. But music, I always love music. I have a keyboard here, and I'm actually gonna start trying to play that more. I'm gonna schedule time of the day. So I'm gonna try and get back to a normal schedule. Like, I'm gonna start scheduling things again, kind of to get back to normality. So I'll schedule like a workout in the morning when I get up. Then I'll schedule like at some point of the day to work in my keyboard, playing, just so I can have something when I come out of this. Of course, I'm gonna schedule videos and stuff like this, and so I can continue to do these because I think it's very key right now. Um, and then the third thing he put is intimacy. He says, bring safe and certainty. A hug a day keeps depression away. It's true. I mean, you have a family, you have people in your house. Um, Most of us do, and just hug them daily. Tell them you love them, because in this world of uncertainty, tomorrow's not guaranteed, and you never know. And it's always good to have that memory of, like, I hugged this person and I told them I loved them. So that's good to do daily, even outside of this. Or if I know parents right now, they have kids, but it's also good to um, maybe stay up a little extra later after the kids go to sleep and just do something together. Watch a movie. Um, I don't know, just sit and talk, or maybe get up extra early or something. But it's good to have time for each other as well, and make sure your kids also know that you know they're looking for that safety and security. And us right now, being adults, they're watching us to see how we react to all this. And so I've been trying to hang strong. Like I said, I've had some bad days, but for the most part, I'm trying to stay strong in this, because I know I got a lot of eyes looking at me, seeing how I react to know how they should react. And then emotional. Uh, Everyone is dealing with a silent battle that needs to be released. So I know, for me, I'm very introverted, even though I started doing these videos. And I come from a family that's not very talkative and affectionate. So some of these are out of my box. But um, it's good to maybe take a quick 5-10 minute session with each person in your house and just kind of talk to them. I'm gonna struggle with this one. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be honest with you. But just kind of touch base and see how everyone is. I know I've been texting some of my family here and there, just kind of seeing how everyone is hanging in. But it's good to do it in your own house too, because just because you're seeing each other every day doesn't necessarily mean that you know what somebody else is going through in your house. It's easier to just think, they're okay. I see them. They look okay. They're all right. But that's not always the case. Like, there's a lot of internal things going on with people. So even if they're kids, it's good to just take like 5-10 minutes and just be like, hey, can we talk? Can we really talk? Not like, how's your day, but like, how are you feeling? How is this affecting you? What are you doing to help with this? Like, really touch base with the mental and their heart to know how they are, and in that we can like build each other up while we're going through this just within our own houses. Hold on a minute, I need a drink break. Commercial break. Bay by, I don't know how to say that, antioxidant cocoa fusion. These drinks are amazing. I love these things. Like, they're so good. They got 1 gram of sugar, no artificial sweeteners. um, they're amazing. There's a bunch of different ones. I hope I say this right, acai berry, that one's good too. That's another one of my favorites. All right, that's just a quick plug. If you're out there and you see it, I want some royalties, thank you. But yes, and 5 is solitude. Like I said, we're all in this together more than ever, but everyone needs that break alone to do something you want. So you should, I know, I have spent a lot of time alone because I have teens and they're off in their own room and everybody does their own thing. So I've had a lot of alone time, the but if you haven't, it's good to take that time, just even if it's 30 minutes, an hour, or whatever, just something. Like I said, if you're in a couple, it's good to have that time together. It's also good to have your time alone by yourself, away from your spouse, away from your kids, away from your family, just to protect your peace, to do something that you want to do. Just live in your moment, surrounded by what you want, whatever that is. Um, could be just listening to music or listening to a podcast or watching your favorite TV show by yourself, or but it's good to have that alone time, as well, especially if you're in a place where there's a lot of you in one home. um, I just want to end on this quick little exercise because I did it, and honestly, I felt so much better afterwards. um, I felt the release, I felt the peace, and from that point, I've just really been in a better place. So, um, I just want you to close your eyes real quick with me here. Think of all those things that you're going through. Think of all those things holding you down, that's draining you, that's weighing you down, that's keeping you from your peace, that's keeping you from your joy. Now think of how it would feel to release that. Feel it in your soul. How free would it be if you release that weight? How free would you feel if you release that weight? Identify it. Feel how heavy it is and slowing you down, keeping you from living your greatest life. Then give gratitude for it, because there was a time you needed it, but now it's a burden holding you down. Thank that weight. Then make the choice to drop it. Say, I'm no longer carrying this weight, and I'm feeling all unnecessary weights keeping me from I'm freeing all unnecessary weights keeping me from my peace. Feel the freedom. Feel the weightlessness. Move forward with your life. Settle for what you deserve and no longer settle for less. Honestly, after you can go ahead and open your eyes now if you did do that practice with me, which I hope you really did, and I hope you really took it into heart and consideration. Because honestly, when sometimes just doing exercises like that, just putting yourself in a different mental frame, a mental state of mind, can bring you out of those mindsets that you have, and put you in a lot better state of mind so that you can just move forward with your life. I've just kind of set my mind that I'm not going to let this get me down. I'm not gonna let this ruin my peace. I'm gonna continue on and find other things that I can do to help give me the release and fuel my passion and continue to keep me happy and just driving forward. I mean, at some point, this is all going to be over and we're going to get back to our ordinary lives. But hopefully, we can never forget um, everything that's happened in this time because there are things that are good that have come out of it. I mean, we've got to spend more time with our families. Hopefully, some of us have come out with some new talents, some new visions, some new dreams, some new goals. I mean, it's been a lot of time to think. So let's just kind of gear that thinking from negative to positive and see how we can come out better because of all of this and then get back to our ordinary lives and not go back to how it was before. Go back to, or go, not go back to, but move forward to uh, a better future for us and the world. We can see how the world is kind of like um, recreating itself. Nature and stuff has kind of changed for the better. Um, so let's just stay, consciously aware of that and consciously aware of our mental health and just consciously aware of how we can be better as a people um, and a community and a world moving forward after this. All right, I know this is kind of a long video. I hope you guys have hung in with me through it and really listened and taken to heart what I've said. Because it's some good stuff, and I'm still a work in progress. It's all right to not feel okay, but it's not okay to stay not okay. You gotta keep pushing forward. So I hope we can all push forward from this. And it's been good talking to you guys. It's been good doing this again, and I will definitely continue this. Uh, as before, I am Atreyu Castle, and this is Food for Thought. Thanks, guys. Peace out.